Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Thunder. If you're a Thunder fan and you don't know, Paul George and Russell Westbrook have been traded. Paul George to the Clippers and Russell Westbrook to the Thunder. Paul George made a trade request because he was getting recruited by Kawhi and he wants to go play with Kawhi back in LA at home. So not a good thing for the Thunder, or maybe it could be. So now they're not just stuck in this place, and they're a good team, but can't quite get into the top tier teams to go contend for a championship, but aren't a bad team, and they're still making playoffs every year in the middle of the pack. So now just got a whole reset. Russ is off to the Rockets, which kind of sucks. But anyways, just what we get out of this, for PG from the Clippers, we got unprotected picks from 2022 all the way to 2026, and then they gave us some Heat picks for 2021 and 2023, and then pick swaps in 23 and 25. And then for Russ, the Rockets gave us some lightly protected picks, only 1 through 4, in 2024 and 2026. So a lot of draft picks there. And then for something that really, really sucks is we traded Jeremy Grant to Denver for just a 2020 pick, a first-round pick, Denver's pick, which is not going to be that great. It's probably going to be in the 20s because Denver's a good team, and you're adding Jeremy Grant. So not the greatest pick in the world. I wish we would have got a little bit more for Jeremy, or we kept him, but that's just how it goes. Also in the Rush trade, we got pick swaps for 2021 and 2025. But don't have your heart set on drafting with all those picks, because a lot of those picks might be trade assets, because Presti's a trading machine. There might be assets to maybe help the rebuild go a little bit faster, or if he for whatever reason wants to build on this team that we got. So let's talk about the team that we have. So from the Clippers, we got Gilgeous-Alexander, who I really like. He's gonna be good, and he's only 20 or 21. And we got Gallinari. And then for Russ, we got Chris Paul, which kind of doesn't really do much for us, besides make us maybe a low-seeded playoff team. But right now, the best assets that the Thunder have are our own picks, honestly, because some of those picks might not be good for a little while. But one good thing is those picks, they start we get Heat picks for 2021, but those 2022 picks are just the one pick, and after that might be good because Paul George only has 2 years left on his deal, and Kawhi only signed a 2-year deal. So this Clippers pick could end up being really good for whatever reason, but I don't really see Kawhi leaving, because he wanted to go to LA. Now he's there. He's got PG with him. PG wants to be in LA. I'm not sure why. Something that we don't know about may happen in the future, and Kawhi might end up going somewhere else, but that's the only reason. But anyways, let's get back to this team. So right now, we're kind of in a tough situation at point guard, because we really need Gilgeous-Alexander to play a lot. He needs to play a ton because he's going to be good. He's the starting point guard for a playoff team. He was a Clipper starting point guard because Patrick Beverley came off the bench. But right now, we have three really good point guards. I mean, we have CP3, who they're saying he's gonna be here start of the season. He might play. So we have 3 really good point guards in CP3, Dennis Schroeder, and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So we're probably going to have to wait till December 15th, or if this team is somehow okay, maybe we keep him for a year, or he could be traded at the trade deadline. But just for me, I don't really want CP3 around. If he's going to play, probably rest him a lot just so he doesn't get hurt and we can trade him. So I honestly don't really want to play more than 60 games, if we're being honest, unless we're somehow just a really good team for whatever reason. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Dennis Schroeder. So Dennis Schroeder is a guy, I think he's 24 maybe, somewhere around there. But he has a bigger contract. So he's young enough to be here for a rebuild. But also he might not want to be here for a rebuild. He may want to go play with a contender or a team that's better than us. Or Presti may want to trade him because he has a bigger contract. So Schroeder's a really weird deal. Obviously, we're keeping Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Don't even think about that. If he gets traded, I'll because I think he's gonna be really good, and I think Presti really likes him. So you gotta get Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in the starting lineup. So he's a bigger point guard. I think he's 6'6". Something like that. So he could play a shooting guard if you want to start him and CP3 together. But I think he's a guy that really wants to play point guard. I think he played a lot of minutes over with the Clippers. I think he played a lot of shooting guard just because they have Patrick Beverly. But I'm pretty sure he's a guy who wants to be the point guard, and I think he can be. He's gonna have to work on his playmaking a little bit. But the dude can score. He can get through the hole, and he's not bad. He's not a bad 3-point shooter. But I don't think he didn't take a ton of threes last year. I don't think. So anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about the shooting guard. We got Ferguson, who should play a lot of minutes. I'm not sure how much better Ferguson can get. I don't think he's gonna get that much better. Obviously, he can be a solid NBA player if he takes what he does already and put some weight on, and he just polishes his game up a little bit. He'll be a solid NBA player. But that's all I see coming from Ferguson. Now he could just, for whatever reason, if he has an awesome year this year and he takes off, he can be that guy we need. But I don't really see that happening. And then we got Hamidou Diallo, who I really like, but also probably won't be that great. He can probably be about as good as Ferguson is. Or maybe as good as Ferguson can be, but he's an athletic guy. He's probably gonna work on his shooting, but he's just watching summer league for him. He's a guy who likes to have the ball, so maybe he could turn into a guy we really like and who we want to be the main guy. But I think he's gonna have a little bit more confidence this year than he did last year. Obviously, he didn't get a ton of minutes with the big team. And he played some games with the Blue, so Diallo's an interesting player. And then we got Deonte Burton, who's a guy you can throw around in a couple of different positions. But again, he probably won't get a ton of playing time no matter what he's playing, unless we just make some trades and open up some positions for Burton to get in. And then at forward, some guys you can throw around. We might get to see Andre Robertson play again for once. Who's also a guy you can throw in at shooting guard, but he might play a little bit more small forward this year. Presti was saying he should be back for the start of the season. And then we got Gallinari, who can play the 3 or the 4. He's probably gonna play the 4 a lot. Then we got the guy that we drafted with the 21st pick. We got Darius Bazley. We've had not too bad of a summer league. He might play a lot of G League this year because he needs to develop a little bit, but he might get a couple games in. And we got Abdul Nader will probably play some 3. I really liked him last year. He had some good games. Not too bad of a 3-point shooter. He gets kind of crazy with the ball a little. If you can work on his just ball control and learning to slow it down a little bit. I think he can be a pretty good player. And then we got a guy who I honestly don't know what we're gonna do with, and Mike Muscala. Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay, yeah, and also some stuff I almost forgot to mention. The Thunder just released Dante Grantham, who was on a 2A contract, so that opens up a 2A contract and also some money. So that could possibly mean we're bringing up a guy from our summer league team, which hopefully is a guy that I really like, is Kevin Hervey, because he really had a good summer league. He's a kind of a stretch 4 kind of guy, who's also a really good rebounder. And then a guy that I almost forgot to mention when we were talking about the forwards is we still have Patrick Patterson on the team, which is another guy we probably don't really know what to do with. Him and Muscala are kind of the same guy a little bit. Hopefully Muscala is a little bit better of a shooter. And then obviously at center, Adams, who should get a lot more focus on developing him and making him a really good player this year. And then we got one of my favorites, Nerlens Noel, who I think he has a lot of potential on offense, and I think he's a really good defender. He's a decent shot blocker, and then he's kind of a big who on pick and roll you can let him switch, because he's not a terrible perimeter defender, and he gets if you watch Thunder games, you saw him get some steals out on the perimeter. So Nerlens is a good guy to keep. I'm honestly surprised he re-signed with the Thunder, but he may be waiting until next year where there's less free agents and he might get a bigger contract, or he might just get a better team. So that's what we have the team looking like right now. Hopefully Nerlens gets a lot more play time, but that just depends how much Adams' minutes go up. But his minutes might stay the same. So if you're a Thunder fan right now, this team could be really fun if Presti doesn't make a whole bunch of trades. So this team could be really fun. This is a brand new team, a team that we just haven't seen. We haven't seen some of these guys play a ton of minutes. So this is going to be a really different experience for Thunder fans. So don't get too discouraged about this rebuild. So now we're back in Presti's ballpark, where he took us from 2008, 2009 to where we are now. I mean, this is his ballpark. I mean, maybe this time if we get a big three, he'll keep it together. But don't get too discouraged by this rebuild. We might suck next year. We might not. I really don't know. We're going to find out when the season starts. We're going to find out December 15th or even the trade deadline what this team's going to be. But right now we're kind of in limbo. But if you're not feeling too good about the Thunder, just go watch some Shai Gilgeous-Alexander highlights, man. Because this team could be really, really awesome, or we might suck next year. For me, I kind of just wish we'd just get a lottery pick, but that's whatever. We're gonna see what we do with CP3, but if you're a Thunder fan, honestly, I'm kind of excited. Because we're not just stuck in the middle of the pack like we have been the last 3 years. So if you're a Thunder fan, don't worry too much, because this is gonna be really good. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Chase Sanders. See you later.